So that's what we're doing now. That's literally what we're doing now. We're not gonna literally just point the facts out now. Okay, so if you guys don't realize what the hell has been happening, there has been mass shootings that have been happening, especially in El Paso. And it's very, very, very sad that multiple people have died because of these shootings. They have caught the guy, especially in the El Paso shooting. And now, looking online, especially like things like Yahoo or Vox or anything, or even on Twitter, now freaking governors, especially in the Texas area, governors from Texas are blaming video games for mass shootings, and literally are going to start doing things to go against violent video games, and they want to go ahead and blame those video games for the recent mass shootings that have been happening. So we're just going to do that now, right? We're just going to go ahead and use video games as a scapegoat to go ahead and blame the fact that this guy literally was pointed out as a white supremacist. Not even the fact that he supports Trump. Not every Trump supporter is a white supremacist, but the fact that literally that guy had a letter, like a racist ass letter that just popped up and that was shown, and like literally we're just gonna ignore all of that. I could have been all right, he's just a Trump supporter, fine, that doesn't make him violent. But then all of the sudden, the guy has a freaking racist thing, like a whole racist note about, talking about what he hates, blah, 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 and like hatred and racism all over that freaking note. And then we just want to go ahead and blame everything on the fucking video games. Not blame the fact that the parents bought the fucking video games on that. We don't want to blame the parents or tell the parents that you fucked up in parenting or your kid is a fucked up individual. We don't want to do that. And usually I try not to speak like this. I try not to put as much curse words in my videos, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Multiple times there have been studies that have proven that video games have no link to that. But apparently that's just complete and utter trash. It's complete and utter trash to the government officials. Like they know better, and it's absolutely hilarious. Where things like they blame Call of Duty, or then they blame Fortnite, or then they blame like things like I would say like Overwatch or Doom or Super Mario or something like that for violent tendencies with your kid. No, it has nothing to do with possibly you're a terrible parent. You're buying a rated M game for an 8-year-old or even younger, or even if you do buy the game for the 8-year-old, you're not instructing them to be like, oh, this is just a fake thing in the game. Do not copy this in real life. This is all fake. Do not copy this. That's what I was taught. I was 6 or 7 when I first played my first Grand Theft Auto game. And then I was always playing the game with my dad or my big brother. And then when I was playing the game with them, they would always tell me, you see this? Do not copy this. Do not copy what's in this game. Do not copy anything that is in this game. It is just a video game. And I came out fine. I came out absolutely fine. But the problem is that now we're using video games as a scapegoat because we don't want to tell parents, oh, you know what, you're screwing up your kids, or your kid is a fucked up individual in his head. That is what it is. I don't want to go ahead and literally just get to a major thing of why parents are doing, but you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to get to a whole thing of that. Okay, parents, these games are rated M. Rated M for mature. Okay? And you want to blame the game for, oh, it taught my son to be so violent, blah, blah, blah. No. Look at the surroundings in your household. Maybe there's a lot of fighting between you and your husband. Who knows? Maybe there's a lot of things that you're teaching your son that is screwing up your son's head. But you don't want to take responsibility for that. Most parents don't want to take responsibility for that because it's wrong to tell parents that they're bad parents. No. You are a terrible parent if you screwed up your own kid. There are ways to go ahead and literally teach these kids not to do things, and there are ways to teach these kids not to go ahead and copy those negative things that could cause a lot of harm to them. It was a major thing when they tried to do that with WWE. It was a major thing when they tried to do that with Call of Duty, and nobody was able to do it. People would still constantly blame the video games for the mass shootings or what they're seeing in the movie theaters or on TV. Okay? Apparently, the shooter was playing a video game before the whole event happened. So what does that have to do with anything that he's literally did? Nothing. What if I'm cooking a steak? Like, God forbid, if somebody's cooking a steak, right, and then all of a sudden they go into the school, they start stabbing like a couple of people. What, do you blame the steak because what, it didn't cook properly or was cooked a certain way? No, you don't find a way to go ahead and make a scapegoat for anything. This guy made a bad decision. He got caught, and now he's going to jail. And I hope he rots. I hope he rots. Most of the time, I try to go ahead and like get to a point where it's like, I try to be so nice. I try to be understanding. And I try to be like, you know what? Maybe I can't judge people by their actions. But no, I put my foot down on this one. Because of the fact that your parenting skills did not cause this. This kid had his hands on an AK-47. Now, everybody's entitled to literally have their own gun. They have the right to bear arms, but make sure you lock that shit up in a proper area where your kids can't like literally get past it. I blame things like bad parenting. I also blame things like bullying and lack of supervision for things like this happening. And especially it's happening with people who are, you know, probably of old age. Some of them, especially in school, are happening because of the students. Threats are because of the students. Because the thing is, as parents, nowadays, you want to go ahead and buy the violent video games because you don't want to be bothered with your children. You want your child to be, you know, you want him to be comfortable. You want him to be, you know, not bothered. You want him kept busy. You want that type of sense for your child. But you don't want to go ahead and do the job as a parent, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that is why you're going to use video games as a scapegoat. No, don't blame the games. Blame yourself. Blame your kid, because your kid screwed up. And you screwed up raising him. Don't blame that. Don't go ahead and blame a video game and then let it cause for people to try to tax the like literally the rated M games or the violent games, because there's no way to tax a violent game because every game has a sense of violence. There is no way to tax literally the rated M games because of the fact that people who are the consumers will be pissed off. Literally, don't blame anything on a manufacturer or a company just because you decided not to go ahead and like look after the students, or you decided not to look after your kids or provide the proper parenting or the tools as an adult. Because things like bullying, things like, you know, lack of supervision of what you buy for your kids are exactly reasons and things why I blame, you know, why I blame certain things on mass shootings. You know, people get bullied in school and end up, you know, wanting to shoot everybody because they don't feel happy. And then, you know what? When bullying happens and when they're told, or parents are told, or, you know, even teachers are told, this is what we get. Boys will be boys, girls will be girls. People need to start taking that shit seriously and stop looking away just because you don't want to do your job or do your ability or even be a parent. If you don't want to do that, stop having kids. That's a straight automatic thing for me. I don't usually do these videos. I really don't. But the fact that if you're going to go ahead and try to ruin everything for everyone else because you don't want to be a parent to your child, or you don't want to blame your parent, or you don't want to blame your child, or you don't want to blame the parent for what he's did or how the parents raised them or anything like that, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I can't even speak because of it. And what's next? When this guy goes to jail, guess what? He's going to plead to insanity. And then guess what? They're going to feel bad for him. They're going to feel utterly bad for him. How ridiculous. How absolutely ridiculous. Subscribe to the EHG community. Make sure to join us on our Facebook group. Make sure to join us on our Discord channel. Make sure to subscribe to the moderators in the description. This is CrazyMaze98, aka Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community.